in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rebelpreneur Radio. This is the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. And I am Ralph Brogden. You know, we live in a stressful world, and the business world can be a stressful place. It can be very stressful running your own business, making all the decisions, but that's what Rebelpreneurs do. So it's how you manage that stress that is important, and today's guest is going to teach us how to adapt and how to overcome in a stressful environment, whether it's business or in life. My guest today is Sean Douglas. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran, a master resilience implementer. I can't wait to ask what that is. A TEDx speaker. He's an international radio show host, a performance enhancement expert, and he is an author. So millennials all the way up to 50-year-old professionals hire Sean to teach them mental, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual resilience skills that empowers them to withstand, to recover, and to grow through adversity, stress, and life's changing demands in a highly interactive and engaging environment utilizing online coaching sessions and face-to-face workshops. Sean equips people with the tools necessary to live epic lives and manage change effectively. His why is he's a suicide survivor, and he shares his powerful testimony globally. Sean Douglas, it is a real pleasure to have you on Rebelpreneur Radio. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I am honored to be here.
Well, tell me more about what it means to be a master resilience implementer.
It's not enough to just know something, right? You have to have self-mastery, life mastery. You have to be able to master those skills that you have, right? So everybody says knowledge is power. I don't believe knowledge is power. I believe implementation, taking action is power. So for me to be a master resilience implementer simply means that I have resilient skills that I have used in my life, and I have mastered those skills, and I teach other people mastery. And
you've got a real background that is all about execution and implementation. You've got a military background. And so tell us a little bit more about what it is you do. Your website is thesuccesscorps.com. Corps is as in Marine Corps. But that is where you teach these skills and you interact with people. Tell us a little bit more about what you do for them and who are the people that best benefit from your help and from your guidance.
Absolutely. The target people that I serve, it says millennials to 50-year-old professionals. It's kind of an umbrella of people. I mean, anybody could fit in there, right? But I firmly believe that everybody needs resilience, and it's a learned behavior. Everybody needs a strategy to overcome the inevitable adversities that are going to happen in life, because you never know what's going to happen until you're put into that situation. You know, so I was in a unique situation last year when my youngest daughter was born. She almost didn't make it. And I kept saying, I'm like, oh, God, I am not equipped with the emotional capacity to bury a child, especially a baby. Like I'm just not equipped for that, you know? And my other friends were like, oh, dude, you've got resilience skills. Like, you've got to give it. I don't know how deep I can go into those skills, you know, with the death of a child. You know, I mean, you never fully know how you're going to handle each situation until you're in the thick of it. But what I do is I empower people by withstanding. I give you the tools necessary. I give you knowledge. I give you skills. We implement. We all the time, every day, living it out. You know, how do you withstand? You know, and it's basically making meaning in the moment. Everything happens for a reason. I believe that everything happens for a reason. But your job is not to find out why something happened. That's not your job. Your job is to find out the meaning of that situation right now. What meaning can I pull from it? What meaning? What is most important right now? So withstand, recover is, okay, I went through a bad adversity. I went through a breakup. I got fired. I got surgery. Whatever it is that you just went through, the PTSD moments, so millennials, the 50-year-old professionals and veterans, because I'm starting to serve like the veteran market, that something happened to you, rape victims often become rape advocates, mothers against drunk driving. The mother that started that, her daughter was killed by a drunk driver. So then she found other support systems and she says, we need to start our own. So Mothers Against Drunk Driving was born. That was her recover period. And then grow from that is exactly what she did. She started a movement. She started a nonprofit. So your growing is, how can I become better because of the adversity that I went through? And that's what I teach people to do, is to withstand, recover, and grow. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So when I say you need to join the Success Corps, you're joining, the ultimate mastermind. You're joining a community of people who want to live epic lives, go on adventures, be the best husband, the best wife, the best parent. They want to live to their full potential. And so in the Success Corps, I help people to unlock their full potential and elevate their life.
Wow, that's really powerful. And I like the way you've got it broken down into the 3 steps here: withstand, recover, and grow. And and the other thing that's really interesting to me is some stress. First of all, you can't avoid it. There's no way you're going to live your life or run your business and not have stress. And I think a lot of people mistake success for being stress free. And there's promises, book promises, how to stop worrying and start living, how to have a stress free existence. But things are going to happen, and that's unavoidable. Point number 1. Point number 2, not all stress comes packaged as bad stress.
Exactly.
Sickness or death, challenges like that, that's obviously bad. But then there's eustress, is what they call it, eustress, which is good stress, positive stress, but it's still stress nonetheless. For example, my daughter just got married, and we had a big wedding ceremony that we've been planning for months, and it was epic and it was stressful, but it's good stress that you're taking on. So starting a business or climbing a mountain or whatever it is that you want to accomplish, that's good stress, but it's still having to learn how to withstand and then recover. And so this week, I'm in recovery mode. I'm trying to get back to the way life was before the wedding event. And so you teach people how to withstand, not to avoid, but how to withstand, how to recover, and how to grow through all of these experiences. But how did you get started in this, and where did you learn these skills, and what was the thing that triggered this realization in your life?
So in 2009, I became a drill instructor for Air Force basic training. And I was terrified because I went through basic training and I remember what my drill instructor, looked like and acted like. And I still, to this day, 17 years later, after basic training, I still remember his name. And so you always remember your basic training drill instructor, because that guy changed your life, whether it be good or bad. Right? I mean, let's just get it real, because back in 2012, a lot of MTIs got judgments against them for sexual assaults and rapes. And I mean, it was Lackland scandal and everybody knew it. Okay. So for good or for bad, worse, whatever you want to call it, the MTIs had changed people's lives forever. So you always remember your drill instructor. So when I became a drill instructor, I was like, oh my God, like, how do I live up to that? Like I put him on a pedestal. Like, how do I live up to that? And now that I'm on the other side, I was like, that's not, like, they're regular people too. Like, it's all a game. It's all a show. It's all like they're not really, like, they don't live their life going 100 miles an hour. They relax. They have families. They have fun. They go play softball. But it's game time. It's game time. Right. I mean, it's game time when I'm in your face because you're being stupid. It's game time. You know what I mean? Right. And so you develop a switch. But you go through all of that. I mean, you talk about stress. I mean, I get home at 7:30, 8 o'clock, go to bed by 10:30, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, be to work by 4, do a couple inspections, roll calls at 4:30, wake them up at 4:45, PTs at 5:05. We're done off the PT pad by 5:45. You're into chow by 6. You're doing your dorm. 7:30 a.m. You are done with your dorm, and 0800 you are on the drill pad doing drill, or you're in a classroom doing class. So from 4:45 to 0800, I've already been up, and I've done more in a day than most people do, or I've done more in that couple hours than most people do in a day.
Yeah. Just like the commercial, right?
Transformations have happened. Shoes have been thrown. Coming to Jesus meetings have happened in my dorm, and people are just waking up at 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And right. I mean, kids are just going to school at 8 o'clock. I mean, I've already been up for 4 hours, so I learned very quickly to pick and choose my battles, which I still struggle with. But I pick and choose my battles because, as you said, you have distress, which is the negative stress, and you're really mad and upset, right? All the negative emotions. Then they have eustress, positive stress, like, oh man, I got this big inspection coming. And I'm like kind of freaked out, but I know we got it, right? So you're kind of half motivator, half parent, and you got to be mean at sometimes, but then you also got to be loving and nurturing at sometimes. So it's a big, I mean, after 4 years, I still don't have it down. And I left in 2013, I still didn't have it down, but I learned how to present. But in 2008, I tried to take my life because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't challenged. I believe that you should live your life with stress because it challenges you and it molds you. And I'm not saying like you should do stressful things like go rob a bank. I'm not saying to do that, but like the old paradigm says avoid bad things and avoid negativity and avoid stress and avoid. There's two things quickly in about a minute I want to talk about. Two things. One, they took bees and brought them into a spaceship and to the whatever it was. I can call it Apollo for all I know. But all I remember out of the research is that they took these bees, they threw them into zero gravity up in space, right? And they died. They couldn't figure out why. Did they suffocate? What's going on? Did they look at what happens to the space crews if they don't walk a lot? Their legs become brittle. There's no stress on them. So what they found out was that the bees had no stress on their wings, and they therefore died. By all accounts, bees should not fly. Their bodies are too big. Their wings are too small. It defies physics. Bees should not be able to fly, but they do. Another research study that they did back in 1991 in Arizona was they built the Biodome. And everybody's seen the movie with Pauly Shore and right, Biodome. What they did was they had these huge redwood trees, massive redwood trees, and they built the perfect landscape with flowers, and they watered them all the time, and they talked great to them. Oh, you pretty flowers. They did all this, right? These big redwoods, somebody could push these huge, ginormous trees over, could push them over. But they found out that the trees' roots were very, very shallow in the ground because there was no wind, because there was no stress. They didn't grow. So stress is necessary to grow. So the new paradigm is not avoid stress, but withstand it. Withstand you don't build your house on the sand, you build it on the rock. It's kind of a Bible passage. You build your sand on the rock, you build it on the foundation. Because when you do that, you can withstand the storms. But you need to do that for your life. You need to withstand the storms of your life. So we do this by implementing skills like mindfulness, gratitude, values-based goals, instead of just here's a bar napkin and write your New Year's resolution on it. I learned these skills back in 2013 when the Air Force in 2012 had the Lackland scandal. They had the all-time high suicide rate for military members in the Air Force. They had the all-time high rate for alcohol-related incidences like DUIs, domestic violence, fights, whatever. Anything that you go to jail or get in trouble over while under the influence of alcohol is considered an ARI, which is an alcohol-related incident. The Air Force topped the charts for suicides over, I think it was like 104 or 107. And they had the most alcohol-related incidences in 1 year. Broke records. They said, what is going on? Well, we have a huge ops tempo. We're deployed in more locations. That was the year of sequestration. Remember, we went down that year. We couldn't even fly. I mean, everything was government shutdowns and everything. I mean, it was a mess, right? And I remember not even getting a paycheck. So they were like, what's going on? What's going on? We need to send these instructors to a place. What are we going to do? We need resilience skills. We need something. So a bunch of us went to University of Pennsylvania and learned a resilience program. Instructors came back, figured out what we learned, what they thought was the best, and then gave it to the Pentagon. And the Pentagon basically blued it. The Army greened it. And so now we have comprehensive airman fitness. And we have comprehensive soldier fitness. The Marines has fit to fight. The Navy, I don't know what the Navy does. Honestly, I don't know what the Navy does. But the Marines have fit to fight. Comprehensive soldier fitness for the Army, comprehensive airman fitness for the Air Force. And so 4 times a year, I hold a boot camp to teach military and civilians mental, physical, social, and resilience skills that will empower them to live amazing lives. And I have 11 skill sets that do over a 2-day program.
Wow. That's really important. So the military is recognized, and maybe it's time corporate America recognizes as well that it's not just It's not just your physical performance or how well you can fight, or in the business construct how many sales you can make or how much money you can make. It's also about your social, emotional, and spiritual and mental resilience skills. So to be able to deal with these situations as they come up. So as you're working with people in these boot camps, what would you say is the most common problem you see with the people that you're helping on a regular basis?
2 things stand out. Negative self-talk and relationships. Those are the 2 biggest ones. And I would say that the negative self-talk is directly reflective of the relationships.
So what is
people grow
negative
up in some
self-talk? How do you define that?
Negative self-talk is your belief that you can't achieve something. Negative self-talk is you talking yourself out of every situation. Oh, no, I can't. No, I don't play the lottery because I'll never win. I mean, yeah, the lottery's crap, but still, I mean, Wayne Gretzky said that you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. So some people will never take a chance. I know people that will spend $200 on a lottery ticket and not spend $200 on their family or themselves, on a book to become a better husband or a better speaker or podcast or something that they're doing. They won't spend the money. It blows I spent $20,000 last year on personal and professional development to become a speaker, a TEDx speaker. My dream come true. I spent $20,000 on speaker coaches and on online courses to learn the business of public speaking, to get on that TED stage, to write a book, to have my own podcast and radio show, to anything that I wanted to do. I found a way to do it. If it costs money, it costs money. That's just the name of the game. It's a business expense and taxes. But I know people who won't spend $200 taking their family out to dinner, but they'll spend $200 on a lottery ticket. Blows my mind. Negative self-talk is anything that you do to talk yourself or sabotage yourself from success. Oh, I don't deserve it. Nah, you know what? I'm not all about the money. I don't care about the money. I don't care about, yeah, you do. Yeah. If you ain't got bills, if you ain't got money to pay your bills, yeah, you do. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you do. That's a broke person's thinking. Somebody who thinks in scarcity, like Ralph, you're not my competition for podcasting. Even though we're podcasters, you're not my competition.
All right.
We should collaborate and create win-wins for people, not compete again. There's nothing I can do to compete with you. Right? Why would I ever do that? Right? Other speakers, other companies, that's why you see a lot of mergers sometimes, but both companies retain their names. Yeah, it blows my mind. People think of the competition, another scarcity mindset. There's 10 billion people in this world. You probably have a million downloads. There's however many billion other people. Like, I don't need your million people. There's like hundreds and hundreds of other millions of people that I can, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Negative self-talk. It's that self-talk. The other, and I believe that relationship, because I grew up in a domestic violence alcohol dominated household. In my lifetime, from the time I was born to the time I was 18, I've lived in 11 different houses and attended 8 different schools. In 3rd grade, we were evicted out of our house. The last 6 weeks of my 3rd grade year, we moved into my grandparents' basement, and I finished out 3rd grade. The very next year the very next grade, 4th grade, was at a different school than so between 3rd grade, I went to one school, finished 3rd grade, and then went to another school for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade in another house. I mean, that's just the life that I lived. But I believe that your negativity, your mindset is directly reflective of your upbringing. I know people who come from entrepreneur families who are amazing people, but then I know people who come from entrepreneur families that are just not doing well in life. So I believe that you are a product of your environment and your circumstances, but you have the power to change your direction in life, and people just don't understand that, and that's what I try to do.
So
tell them.
How do we turn that around? How do we? What's a process? I mean, you've got a lot of skill sets. I think you said 11 different skill sets that you teach in your boot camp. But maybe you can give our listeners a little self-help process, or at least give them a couple of steps. How do we overcome this negative self-talk, for example? How do we begin to shift the thinking in our mind that habit that always is self-sabotaging our efforts?
Absolutely. My number one course of action, and I'm building this out into a course later on in the year. Hopefully it materializes, but I have a signature talk when I'm on stage and I'm talking to people who they don't have a direction. Like, I've got negative self-talk, and I don't know what to do with myself, and I need direction, or I'm talking to an entrepreneur whose company is kind of floundering, and they don't know, like, should I go left, right, straight, up, down? Like, what do I do? And you're just stuck. I mean, everybody can relate at some point. They're like scratching their head, like, what do I do now? Like, I am so stuck. I'm so screwed. Yeah. Like, what do I do? My signature talk that I talk about is about the blueprint of success. There's 3 things you have to do. Have to, not negotiable. And they have to happen in this order. Number 1, you have to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. How you do this is by counting 3 blessings a day. So we, as a family, sit at the dinner table with no electronics, no TV, no radio, no phones, no nothing. For that 1 hour a day, we are connecting as a family. We're talking about the day. I don't ask, how was your day? We say, what was a great thing that happened today? What stands out to you? What was a moment for you that you absolutely loved? Right? And I teach my kids to become moment makers. Right? What moments did you create today? What great things did you do in the world? And so that's what I tell my kids. But we count 3 blessings a day. And it's a great exercise. You can go on Facebook and hashtag gratitude, hashtag counting blessings. If you hashtag counting blessings, you'll see a bunch of me and a bunch of other of my community people, like, all posting their blessings on Facebook. Great way you can even Facebook Live them. I did a 66-day challenge from October to December. I did a whole 66-day gratitude challenge, all Facebook Lives. Every day I did a Facebook Live for 66 days, every day. And I counted my blessings and I thanked people. What I like to do is I take it a step further. I count 2 blessings, and then the 3rd blessing is how I blessed somebody. And that's just my preference. How can I become a moment maker? How can I become a blessing to people? So I don't care if I have to give somebody $5, if I have to open a door for somebody, if I have to, whatever. How can I bless someone today? So 2 of my and I still do this every day. 2 blessings. I count 2 blessings every day. And then the 3rd blessing is how I've become a blessing to somebody. That's step 1. Step 2 is you have to have values-based goals. Everybody wants to talk about smarter goals and smart goals and this, that. Got it. Cool. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic. I stop there. I'm like, really? Your self-limiting belief, you're actually going to look somebody in the face and tell them that they have a realistic goal. Well, whose realism? Whose realism? Mine or yours? Whose realism? Because my realism is I'm going to be a millionaire in like November of 2021. I've already set my net worth millionaire date. So I'm speaking it in the law of attraction. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm telling the universe, I will be, not I wish I will be, because words are powerful. I will be net worth millionaire. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to make it happen. And I'm taking steps towards this. All right. So people write goals like, oh, I wish I had $1 million and I wish I could travel here. And they're doing it wrong. There's no incentive for them to achieve that goal. Put a value towards it, because values are where you want to be in life, and goals are just the accomplishments along the way. I value my family. So what is my goal? To be a better husband, to be a better father, to take my kids on trips, to have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 family vacations. And people are like, what? We just got back from Vegas. They're like, wait, what? Yeah, I was speaking in Vegas. The kids came along, and I took them to all of the kid-friendly places that are there. There's a lot of kid-friendly things to do there in Las Vegas. Totally a lot of kid-friendly stuff. There's Tiger Park and dolphins and roller coasters. And I mean, there's tons of stuff. There's tons of kid-friendly things. Wax museums. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. We also go to Utah. We all go to Florida. They come with me on speaking engagements that I have. They'll come with me. We went to New York, but I'm not going to rob my kids of these experiences. I was like, dude, I'm going to New York. Like, you ever been there? No. Cool. Let's go. As a family, let's go. If you want to see what people value, look back 30 days on their calendar and look back 30 days at their bank account, because time and money are 2 things that people willingly will never give up. They just won't. Can we both agree on that?
That's right.
So values-based goals. Write a value. Right now, all the listeners need to write a top 5 core values. Whatever your top 5 core values are, these are your core values. They are not negotiable. In the Air Force, our core values are integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. In the Army, it's like, I don't know, Marine Corps is like honor, code, God, country. I'm not even sure what the armies are anymore. But those are our core values. Businesses, like Fortune 500 companies, like they all have like values and goals. Like they all have this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Write down your top 5 core values. My top 5 is God, love, which I'm love for friends, family, love for life. Like it's all encompassing, because I can sit here forever and list like 20 different things, but love is like family, relationships, so love. I also value integrity and honesty, because integrity is doing what's right when no one's looking. Honesty is you telling the truth all the time. So integrity is really huge, because a lot of people behind the scenes don't do the right thing. But integrity is doing what's right, even though no one's looking. Mm-hmm. So integrity and honesty. Loyalty is huge. I've been with T-Mobile for 10 years. 10 years. And then the final thing is, people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, money. But it's not money that I'm chasing. It's the impact I can create with that money. I can feed my family. I can give to the poor. I can, give to St. Jude's children cancer research, whatever. Like I'm not chasing the dollar. I'm chasing the impact of that money. So those are my top 5 core values. Most people get to 2 or 3 and they're like, I think I've named them all. 5 core values. And then make a goal. Life. I value life. Good. Lose 10 pounds. You don't value the 10 pounds. You value the health and longevity. Mm-hmm. So if you have a value, you are 36% more likely. This is fact-based research. 36% more likely to achieve the goal if you have a value in front of your goal. You chase the value, Excellent. Not the goal.
Yeah. So the goal is not the purpose. The goal is the means to the end.
Exactly.
And
it is your vehicle. Yes. It is your compass.
Excellent.
Yep. The third thing, and I'll wrap this up, is board of directors. If every Fortune 500, Fortune 100, if every major company, if every major CEO in the world attends board meetings for direction, for growth, for sales, for knowledge, why are we not building a board of directors for our life? Why? My family, we hold board meetings. People are like, what? Yes, we hold board meetings. During dinner, we're like, hey, what do you think? Where's our family going? What do you guys want to see? Well, I like a TV in my room. Like, tell me why. Give me some reasons why. Most parents are like, what? TV? No, shut up. Go away. Why? We tend to treat our family worse than we'd hold open the door for strangers, but we don't open the door for our spouses and for our kids. Why? Why are we treating our most loved people in our life less than they should be treated? It's because, we take them for granted and I come up with all kinds of reasons. But we treat strangers with such respect that we don't show the same respect to our family. So we make it a point to, I'm like, okay, hold on, let me hear this. Okay, go ahead. Even my 3-year-old, I want to watch my show. Why should you watch your show? Because I was good, and I did my chores, and I'm like, okay. Tell you what, I'll let you watch a show, and we negotiate all the time. My mom's like, oh, no, my kids. I'm like, yeah, we know how your kids turned out. One of them wanted to kill themselves, and I see how my other sisters finally are doing really well later on in life. We all sucked it between 18 and 24. Like, we all sucked, And so we built a board of directors. So you have 5 areas of life that everybody has in common: wealth and finances, okay, health, personal development, relationships, professional development, your career, your business, and spirituality, religious and non-religious. Mm-hmm. Spirituality literally means the strengthening of a set of beliefs, principles, and values. That is spirituality. So I have people on my board of directors. My mom's on my board of directors because she's had 3 divorces. So she's on my personal board of directors of things that I don't want to happen. My brother-in-law and my sister are on my board of directors because they've been married for 16 years. My grandparents, my pastors on my spiritual board of directors. I have a wealth coach because I suck at budgeting. I suck at it. So I have a wealth coach. I have a business coach. I have a speaker coach. My wife is on my personal board of directors, my kids. So place 2 to 3 people in each of those areas. And that person is solely responsible for elevating you in that area only. You go to that person for advice because you can't be everything to somebody or something to everybody or whatever. That person needs to basically elevate you in that one area. Mm-hmm. And that is who you go to. And it gives you direction and you get elevated in that area. That's my system.
Excellent. I love that. So just to recap for our listeners, number 1 is an attitude of gratitude. Number 2 is value-based goals. And number 3 is your board of directors. And what that really means is accountability.
Yes.
And people don't want accountability because what follows after that is responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we are learning to take responsibility and to be accountable to ourselves and to other people for what we're doing in our business and in our life. And that's an interesting perspective because a lot of self-employed and people and business owners, they just want to be accountable to nobody and do whatever it is they want to do. But you're teaching life skills as well as business success principles. So this is very good. Now, what do you have going on right now that you'd like to tell our listeners about that has got you really excited?
Ooh. So, I'm always building the success core, right? I'm always building the course. I got a course of action workbook that's coming out, course of action guide. Everybody's got a planner. Everybody's got a calendar. This is going to be an all-inclusive book. Mm-hmm. It's going to talk about managing energy, not your time, because time management is a myth. Oops. I just ruined like half of people's businesses everywhere. Time management is a myth. You have 86,400 seconds in a day. After that, you're done.
Yeah.
But energy is renewable. So you get more energy throughout the day. But I have a whole thing on that. Talk about the values-based goals. It's the running through, and this is literally your course of action guide. When you get stuck, what do? Refer to the course of action guide. It's going to tell you exactly what to do.
Perfect.
Right. I get booked. I'd love to speak on any of the listener stages or be referred to event planners. If you have an event coming up, I love. That's my passion to be on stage. And I've already been booked 11 stages this year, and I'm hoping to get to 20. That's my goal.
Awesome.
My goal to get to 20.
Awesome. Well,
but other than that, that's it.
I'll tell you, well, that's quite a bit. And your energy and your passion really comes through in the things that you're sharing. And So how can our listeners get in touch with you if they need to? We mentioned your website. Is that
Sure.
thesuccesscore.com?
Yeah, I'm also on LinkedIn. Look me up on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/Sean Douglas Speaks, SEAN, Sean Douglas Speaks. The Success Core is also on Facebook. You can find out any information you want there. I'd love to speak with you, love to connect with you. Send me a message, send me an email. I'm not hard to find, and I love talking to people.
That is super. Well, you have shared a great deal of wisdom with our listeners already. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share as we wrap up?
No, you are amazing, and you are intentionally and wonderfully made. So go create impact.
Awesome. Words of wisdom from Mr. Sean Douglas. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran, a master resilience implementer, a TEDx speaker, international radio show host, performance enhancement expert, and author. You can find out more and connect with Sean at thesuccesscore.com. And that's CORPS.com, The Success Core. So, Sean, thank you so much for being on Rebelpreneur Radio today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to inspire your listeners.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at ralphbrogden.com.